Chapter 7. We were eventually referred to a neurologist, Dr. Anna Sorokin. Dr. Sorokin diagnosed Paula with having PSP. At first, we didn't understand what PSP was. We had never heard of it. PSP is a rare brain disorder that affects 5 out of 100,000 people. The age group that is targeted by this disorder is predominantly over 60 years of age. As Dr. Sorokin explained what PSP was, she kept using the word sorry. At first I didn't understand, but as Dr. Sorokin further explained the disease and its effects, it started to sink in. Dr. Sorokin turned out to be an empathetic and caring person. She patiently listened to all our questions and answered them numerous times. When at first we couldn't completely grasp all the PSP symptoms, she would go over them again. During the final stages of Paula's illness, Dr. Sorokin was always there to help. During the years of Paula's illness, she was prescribed many medications, but the one that probably was the most beneficial was something that Paula prescribed for herself. Paula listened to the doctor and understood all the ramifications of what she was telling her, and although she couldn't or wouldn't verbalize that to me, but what she did verbalize was, "Let's take a ride." I proceeded to push Paula's wheelchair into the garage. I built a ramp that made the transition from the house to the garage easier. I then transitioned Paula from the wheelchair to the passenger seat, folded up the wheelchair, put it in the back seat, and away we would ride. We rode everywhere, to our grandchildren's baseball and soccer games, to the mall, up to Wisconsin, to downtown Chicago, to our old neighborhood where we grew up, or even around the neighborhood where we were living now. What Paula didn't say when she said she wanted to take a ride was she wanted to get ice cream. Always when we would go anywhere, we would stop for ice cream. Didn't matter what kind or flavor, sundaes, malts, shakes, or even 1 scoop cones. It didn't matter. Sometimes, as when we went back to our old neighborhood, we would stop twice. Once in the old neighborhood, and again when we were returning home. If the grandchildren came over, without a doubt, we went for ice cream. This was before Paula's ability to swallow and keep food safely from her lungs was impaired. That would come later, but right now, Paula wanted to have fun and, in a way, make a defiant gesture. All her life, Paula had followed good lifestyle habits. And for what? Now her ice cream binge was thumbing her nose towards this terrible condition that was stalking her. She would put up a fight. All during Paula's ice cream binge, she never gained a single pound. At our regular meals, Paula was now only to eat and digest small amounts, so we tried to eat 4 times a day. It helped, but she was still losing weight. On the other hand, my weight went up, and my cholesterol probably started to register astronomical numbers. So, one day when Paula changed her jargon from "let's ride" to "let's get some ice cream I'm buying," I gave her some playful grief. "Wait a minute," I said. "The last time I looked, the checking account is in both our names and the credit cards are too." Paula turned her wheelchair to look at me. Then she gave me a wry smile. "So, what are you saying?" "I'm saying that if you're buying, I'm losing money," I said, laughing. Paula put her fist under her chin, as if she were posing for a statue. She thought for a minute, and then she smiled. "Okay, you're right." She spoke. "The next time we get ice cream, you don't have to get any, and you can sit and watch me eat mine." Paula tilted her head and smirked. "That way you can save money." I busted out laughing. "You are such a smart ass." Paula didn't give a verbal reply. She just smiled. The money for the ice cream was just an excuse to banter, to tease. I would have spent every cent I had to have ice cream with Paula, to go out every day, to keep things the same for the rest of our lives. But another time span went by. In a little over 6 weeks, there was no more going out for ice cream. Paula had trouble swallowing. We were now using the food thickener, and getting her in and out of the car became a problem. Again, I wanted things to stay the same. No change. A Groundhog Day, but they didn't. I didn't want things to change, but the one thing that didn't change was Paula's spirit. Paula's condition continued to deteriorate, and then she was placed in hospice care. Paula greeted all who came to help her with grace, warmth, a gentle pat on the back of their hand, and a smile. Paula passed away on December 4th, 2022. Paula Zajac, 1947 to 2022. As of now, there is no cure for PSP. Making a diagnosis remains very difficult. There is no scan, no blood test, or any other definitive test, and it can take years to get the correct diagnosis. Paula's story is not more important than any other person who was stricken with this terrible disease. Paula's story is just that, her story, not just some statistic. PSP attacks victims from every race, creed, or status. Hollywood actors, successful people in business, both men and women, famous singers and musicians are among its victims. The only common denominator seems to be age. Most patients are around the age of 60 and in their 70s. Hopefully, in the future, by the middle of the 21st century, there will be an accurate way to diagnose and treat neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, ALS, and PSP. Hopefully, with research, there will be a way to prolong the quality of life for the patients and their loved ones. My heartfelt thanks to all the therapists who worked with Paula. They were all professional, thoughtful, and worked hard to prolong Paula's quality of life. The hospice team that helped Paula in her last moments were wonderful. They all were professional, caring, and empathetic. I can't thank you enough. Thank you again. Though Paula's journey has ended, her memory and spirit live on. Thank you for walking this path with us.